Can I start?
You can.
So I'm Jay Faber.
My name is Jeb Byerly.
My name is Courtney Terry.
My name is Hannah Sarsini.
I'm Eric Brown.
My name is Colin Edge.
All right. Well, I'm Captain Joe Solomon.
My name is Jonah Green.
My name is Patrick Smith.
My name is Hannah Fluke.
My name's Amber Dow.
My name is Latrice Shiver.
So I'm Candace Bowen Hansley.
So my name is Adriana Ferrantina.
So my name's Katie Robinberg.
My name is Allie Langfeld.
My name is Corey Devane.
My name's Sarah Kalla.
I'm Lauren McMahon.
I'm Victoria Guy. I'm Corey Bell.
Okay, so my name is Sarah Moore.
And Jenna Hunter.
Well, hi, I'm Lacey Beanwald.
So my name is Mallie Littman.
Hi, my name is Brandon Reinhardt.
So I'm Darren Castine.
I'm Catherine Woods.
Okay, I'm Elizabeth Allen.
My name is April Slaughter.
Taylor Holt.
I'm Jamie Garris. So why am I teaching? I've been teaching adults for most of my adult career. I've got 3 little ones that attend Surf City Elementary. Not anymore, one's going to middle school. He'd be really upset with me if I said he was still in elementary school. But I think they're finally old enough where I feel like I've got more of me to give to small kids. So I finally have the mental and emotional energy to go back to little ones. It was always the plan, was to teach.
I started college at East Carolina as an elementary education major, and I changed my major because of many factors, and so I changed it to broadcasting. And I loved it while I was in school. I got out and worked in the field for a year and just didn't like it, and my mind kind of always kept going back to, well, maybe if I can just stick it out, like I could go back and teach broadcasting. And so my mind kind of always kept going back to teaching. And growing up, I was that little girl that always taught her imaginary class in my bedroom and whatnot. And so I decided, okay, like I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do this. And it's kind of a different pathway from what everybody else is doing, but I'm looking so forward to it. And it was kind of just like, it feels right. And I mean, the day that I signed my paperwork, I drove home crying because I was just like, I know this is where I was meant to be.
I truly have a heart for children, especially those with special needs and who need extra support in the classroom. I want to teach them that they can overcome obstacles and struggles they face. They may have to go by it a different way than everybody else, but just to stand out and just to know that you can overcome any challenges you face in the world, and also help students and realize that in today's classroom are tomorrow's leaders, and just prepare them for our world.
So my parents are both educators at Penderley Elementary School, actually. So I grew up going in, volunteering. I was able to do all kinds of things in their school and just absolutely loved it. Being able to see like the students' eyes light up and just their big smiles on their face when they finally understood something. It was just really cool and very, heartwarming for everybody. And just seeing that impact that teachers have on the students and how students impact teachers as well. So I'm hoping to impact their lives as much as they impact mine.
So after retiring from the Marine Corps after 20 years of service, I still wanted to serve. And teaching is a way to do that, and I've always been interested in teaching, and especially young students. They are future leaders, and that has been a huge part of my career. So continuing to teach future leaders is an honor, and that's why I wanted to go into teaching.
I remember when I was really young, I used to always, I was always the one asking my older sisters, can we play school, can we play school? So I feel like it was from a really young age, but it was really in 3rd grade was really that big difference maker for me. And, my mom was like, oh, everybody says they want to be a teacher when they're, 6, 7, 8. But I never outgrew this passion. And still to this day, my husband, I was a stay-at-home mom for 3 years since I've had my daughter. And I don't have to work, but I just have such a strong passion and drive for teaching that I want to work.
When I was a senior in high school and everybody's, what do you want to do when you grow up? I was like, I really do want to be a teacher. And by that point, nobody else wanted to be a teacher in my grade, but I was like, I'm going to be the teacher because that's what I really want to do. So once I admitted to that desire, I started reading articles, asking teachers things. I tutored, I just did everything that I could. It just came out kind of full force, like I want to be that. I want to be in the kids' life, and I want to do or just give them what they need. And so I'm going to read it because I love what I put, but I just put that life might always be different outside of school, but every kid's school experience has a chance to be great. Being a teacher is showing love and care every single day. It requires us to put aside our own things for just a little bit and to put their needs first. I'm in it for each and every kid, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to be a supporter, encourager, and a facilitator of learning for my students and the school. Every child deserves the best, and I plan to give them my best each day. So that's basically why I wanted to become a teacher.
I actually come from Linden, Washington, a super agricultural community, all the way in the Northwest, basically close to the Canadian border as you can get. I come from a farming background, and I really wanted to teach agriculture just because it's so hands-on. It gets those kids that really learn from the hands-on experience out there in the community, doing things, being active. I also think CTE is huge because it teaches kids real-world experiences that they're going to use someday later on. It teaches them hard work, it teaches them dedication. It teaches them resume building, all of the different career activities that you need to do to become a hard worker out there someday.
I've always wanted to be a positive role model for students and to motivate them to be their best selves. I started teaching dance when I was in high school, and I absolutely loved it, and they would tell me about their days at school, and it just kind of made me want to become a teacher even more. And even when I was in elementary school, like when we would be asked what we want to be when we were older, I would always say like I want to be a teacher, and I would like play with my dolls and make my brother and sister do like school with me, and I would give them tests and stuff like that. So I think it's always just been something I want to do with my life, and I think that I can help students be the best versions of themselves.
I became a teacher because I wanted to make a positive difference in my school, my future students, and my local community. I believe it was like in the 3rd grade I had a teacher. I went to school here in Pender County, and she just had a really, really big impact on me and my school year for 3rd grade. And just from there on out, I was like, I know I want to be a teacher.
When I was in school, I struggled with, some teachers didn't understand how to teach me, certain subjects, so I struggled with that a lot. And I had to take the time on my own to figure out different ways to study and do all this stuff. So it's really become a passion of mine to help kids learn different ways to do things. And just to see them grow, it's just become a passion of mine to just watch them grow creatively and let them have that drive to learn.
Being a teacher is hard. Some days are very difficult, but those good days or the moment where you see a child really grasp a concept or open up to you about something that they wouldn't normally share because they know you care about them, those are the moments that make the hard days worth it. I always had a passion for education, especially when I got to high school. I had some really wonderful educators, and I wanted to be that same person for another student.
It actually wasn't my first career choice. I wanted to go into occupational therapy. However, after shadowing my aunt in high school, and she's an adaptive PE teacher in California, I fell in love with what she was doing. She was being really interactive with her kids, and she was helping them progress through their goals and helping them achieve what they wanted to achieve and what they needed to achieve. And so seeing that and seeing her work through that, I was like, this is what I want to do. And so I got into Exceptional Children's, and just being able to see students progress both academically, personally, in behavior goals, it's really just the best feeling, and knowing that I'm a small part of that.
I've always loved working with kids ever since I was little, and I always wanted to make a difference in people's lives, and I thought kids are the best way to do that because they are our future. Yeah, and just showing them that there's someone there for them, always, someone supporting them, showing them that learning is fun, and yeah, just being around kids all the time.
And in high school, I took early childhood classes, and so that's when I really knew that's what I wanted to do. I started out going to college to be a teacher, and then life kind of changed, and I ended up going some other routes. I had my own business in Southport for a few years, and then I ended up in healthcare, and then came back. I got my degree, and then just really decided that teaching is, I tried the other jobs, and it's like, nope, get me into teaching.
I come from a family of 2 educators, so I actually originally was in the state of Indiana, and then I just moved here. But my mom taught kindergarten, my dad taught high school, and I saw them being teachers, and then I instinctively was like, okay, well that's maybe that I wanted to do. And then kindergarten, I love my teacher. First grade, I love my teacher. Second grade, I love my teacher. So I was just like, yep, this is what I want to do. So
the reason why I got into teaching, I am a former criminal justice major, which I graduated from college. I worked at the prison system in Beauregard. I worked for the New Hanover County Sheriff Department. And a couple of my friends was getting at me, say, you know, everybody see me, I'm a big guy, but I'm really a gentle giant. You know, I enjoy listening, mentoring, and sharing with kids personal things that have went on in my life that I think could help them.
Well, before I came into the public school, I was a Head Start teacher. So I have experience with children. I've had a daycare, so I just feel like the background of working with children, period, with my children and being exposed in the classroom on different levels is just gonna help with having this big new kindergarten classroom.
I feel like for me, I didn't necessarily have like a wonderful childhood, and I know that when I went to school, the teachers made me feel loved and welcomed, and I feel like I want to be an inspiration for other kids who might have had an upbringing like mine, and make them feel like, you know, you can do things, like no one can stop you, even if you are in unfortunate situations. And I just want to be like a source of light for all kids, whether they come from a good or bad background. And it's just really important to me to make them feel like they can do anything.
It was a very roundabout thing. For a long time, I really resisted it. I was like, I don't want to be a teacher. And I went to this guy at our college, and his job was to help people figure out their careers. So I sat down with him, and he asked me what my parents did. And I told him what my dad did. He's a pig farmer. And I told him what my mom did. She's a teacher, 6th grade science teacher. And when I was talking to him, I could feel myself get more excited, like talking about my mom and her relationship with the kids and all the crazy funny stories that she had. And he noticed that change too. And so at the very end of that conversation, he's like, Jay, I think you know what you want to do. And I was like, you're not even gonna say it to me? I already knew. I didn't want to do it because I'm like, ugh, it feels like in this time, you know, everybody's like, oh, you just are gonna be another teacher. No, but it feels like the perfect combination between 2 of my favorite things. I love books and I love people. And so being an English teacher was like this beautiful combination of things that I want to lift up and cherish. And being an English teacher is a place that I'm not scared to be myself, and I can, you know, serve these kids and help them grow in love, or at least tolerance for reading. So that's my reason.
It took me a while to find my passion, but I started doing retail for a good, 4+ years before I went into teaching, but retail wasn't satisfying me. I hated retail. I wanted to get out, and I was like, this is just not satisfying. And then my friend introduced me, my friend asked me and said, hey, you want to work at the daycare with me? And I said, yeah, actually I think that sounds really interesting. I think I'd like to try that out. A, I get to work with my friend, and B, it's something different, not retail. And once I jumped into that, I started finding a love for teaching. I started finding a love for how I can meet these kids where they're at, and knowing that I could relate to them in some way, knowing that when I was in school, I had the same difficulties. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to not get a perfect grade, or to do perfect on that task, because it's okay. We all make mistakes.
I ended up going right into a 4-year university right out of high school, but I was not ready at all, and ended up leaving after 1 year. And I spent the next probably 5 or 6 years just working around jobs that I could get. Just trying to make my way in the world, and I guess doing that thing that I was doing back in middle school, so trying to figure out who I was, what I wanted to be, and who I wanted to, who I wanted to become. And it was during that time that I really wasn't very satisfied with where I was at and kind of where I was going, so I just kind of had to take a period to reflect back on what was it that used to bring me joy? What did I used to enjoy doing? And I came back to, reading and writing, so I tried to kind of get back into that while I was still working, and I did, and I found that I still enjoyed it just as much. So I decided that, I'm going to try and go back to school for this. And just see where this goes. I'm gonna test the waters.
When I went to college, I knew I wanted to do history and teach it at some level. I didn't know what level to begin with, but I was gonna aim as high as I could, go for academia. But then I found out academia is actually a lot of research, writing, being locked in an office all day. I wanted to focus more on teaching, so I looked a little, down the ladder, high school. So I decided to go with high school because I liked high school. I think I'd work well with teenagers a lot more than like little kids,
I just recently retired from a 31-year Coast Guard career, senior officer. Love the Coast Guard, love the opportunity to be a servant leader and help our men and women in the Coast Guard develop in their professional careers and reach their goals and develop as leaders. So when the opportunity for Coast Guard JROTC instructor, presented itself, I hopped on that opportunity very quickly. Was looking forward to the opportunity to help our young men and women at Topsail High School, develop into future leaders.
I didn't want to get into education, and then I needed to find a job, and I started working as a TA, and I loved helping the kids. So it was just progression through that.
What was your background?
My background was technology and figuring out that I didn't want to sit at a computer all day and needing a different job.
I wanted to be a teacher. This is the whole reason I joined the Coast Guard, actually, to get money for school, to become a teacher. I'd always wanted to be a teacher from high school with a couple of the male teachers and coaches that I had that were really good examples for me. And so throughout my time in the Coast Guard, I was training positions, training officer, and my plan was to just get out after 4 years and become a teacher, and I kind of realized that in the Coast Guard I got to teach every day on the water, which I kind of thought was the best classroom there was, in many ways. So I retired after 21 years, and the opportunity there at Topsail came up with the Coast Guard JROTC program, and so for me it was kind of the best of both worlds. I love the Coast Guard and had always wanted to be a teacher, and now I get to do both. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I wanted to do something meaningful and something that would enrich my life. I really like helping other people, and I really like talking to other people, so I thought that teaching would be a great opportunity to do both at the same time.
So I got my undergraduate degree in public health and interned at a middle school teaching health and PE. It wasn't then until, that's when I realized that I wanted to become a teacher, was doing my internship health and PE. So being a leader, being there for them, being a role model, I didn't realize how much students relied on their teachers. And so it was like, I want to be a positive influence on those students.
It is something I came in college. I had my mindset on wanting to be a teacher. And I think from an early age I had experiences with mission trips with church and tutoring programs through middle school and high school that I got to lead. I think showed me that I really enjoyed working with kids and wanting to teach and serving others.
I just like seeing children grow. I like to be there to help them. Children, I think in general children can learn whatever they want to. So I like to be there to help the ones that have a hard time doing that.
When I was younger, I wanted to teach and ended up following in my mom's footsteps and going into the medical field, and so I stayed away from teaching, and then this came available when I wasn't even looking for it, And I thought, if I could do what my health science teacher did for me and help guide these kids and teach them about the medical field and let them want to do what I've done the last 20 years, that'd be awesome.
And I applied to one school, which was West Pender. I had an interview, I got hired, and it's been the best for me. It's the most rewarding. My previous career, the last 17 years, I was in the medical field, which is rewarding as well, but this is far more rewarding than that. I feel like I'm making a difference each day, and I really appreciate the opportunity, and it's been the best decision for my life.